A suspect has been arrested after a deadly shooting outside of Columbus, where he was found, and more details on the crime.
President Trump announced his proposal to transfer hundreds of thousands of Palestinians out of the Gaza Strip. Find out what obstacles the president is facing to develop it into a tourist destination.
One of your daily habits in the digital world comes with a lot of risk. Learn more about the email security and latest phishing scams ahead.
New troops are headed to Mexico's borders following an agreement with President Trump. These stories and more as KSTV News starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good Wednesday evening, Portage County, and thank you for tuning in to KSTV at 6. I'm Liv Sharp.
And I'm Lex Rady. Welcome to the Women and Well Men Wednesday Newscast.
You bet. All right, Lex. I don't know about you, but recently I've been getting a ton of emails in my Kent State account that seem too good to be true.
I hear you, Liv. It seems that phishing or spam emails are becoming more prominent in students' inboxes.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, our reporter, Sydney Brown, is in the studio to tell us how we can protect ourselves from falling for these scams. Hi, Sydney.
Good evening to you both. Our emails are one of the main forms of professional communication, but also a space scammers continue to infiltrate. I spoke to local experts about keeping your information safe from phishing attempts.
It used to be if you wanted to steal someone's wallet, you had to be on the same street as them and steal their wallet. But now it can be done from halfway around the world just using a computer.
Chances are you refresh your inbox today, and this daily habit in the online space is so routine that it's easy to forget about threats that could appear as a phishing or spam email.
Day to day, hackers and scammers are looking for a payday. And they may do that by getting your bank account information, your credit card information, or getting your personal data, using that to make money in some other way.
New security advancements at Kent State University hope to add an additional layer of protection to keep this digital space safe.
And then our automated systems, capture most of the phish. It's the multiple thousands that get caught automatically and don't even make it to somebody's inbox.
The university system watches 1.7 million email messages go out a day from tens of thousands of email accounts.
It's not enough to just recognize it. We really want people to tell us. So if you're seeing something that got through our, security controls, let us know.
Today's college students grew up with technology, yet on the back end are just as accessible to scammers and can be reached on nearly every platform.
Young people are very much living their lives online. They're conducting all their business online and things like that.
And meeting younger demographics where they're at, cases of social media and tech scams are on the rise that some experts warn are attempting to exploit people.
It's all a ploy to create a sense of urgency for the victim. And that's the case for all phishing type attacks. It's always that sense of urgency that they're playing on.
Unique passwords and multi-factor identification are the best ways to stay safe, but also your own suspicions.
Part of it is also trusting your gut. So people are actually incredible at identifying situations that aren't quite right.
Something experts shared to be on the lookout this spring is emails regarding your tax returns as we approach that April deadline. So always take the extra second to make sure you know where this email is coming from before clicking. KSTV, Sydney Brown.
Thanks, Sydney. Well, we've got a lot of other events going on campus and a lot of news with that. So for that, we turn to our correspondent, Lexi Bladdick.
Hi, Lexi. What's going on around Kent State this fine February week?
Hey guys, there are plenty of events taking place on campus today, starting with an undergraduate student government meeting. The undergraduate student government is holding a meeting today at 5:30 in the Governor's Chamber in the Student Center. The USG will go over what they did over the week and what's to come. Students are encouraged to attend these events if they have any concerns regarding the campus. Meetings are held every other week at 5:30. Black United Students is hosting a mass meeting in Oscar Ritchie Hall in room 250 from 6 to 8 p.m. The meeting is a way to celebrate the achievements and unite in honor of Black History Month. Black United Students formed in 1968 after the assassination of Martin Luther King. Kent State has celebrated Black History Month every year since 1970. And Kent State University's Ice Arena is hosting a college late-night skate from 10:30 to midnight. The event is open to Kent State students with a current college ID. Those students must be 18 years or older. Entry is $5, including the rental fee. Be sure to bring a bank card as the ice arena, does not accept cash. And the Recreational and Wellness Center is offering a self-defense class for women of all ages. This is an 11-week class that takes place on Mondays and Wednesdays. Classes start at 4:45 p.m. and cost $55 for students. You can find the registration link on the Recreational and Wellness Services website. For more stories and updates about Kent State's campus, visit kentwired.com. For KSTV, I'm Lexi Blatnick.
Thanks, Lexi. Listen up, trivia buffs. It's Bell Tower's monthly trivia night, and tonight's theme is the Grammys. So brush up on your music knowledge and head over to Bell Tower Brewing at 6:30. People are encouraged to make reservations ahead of time. If you miss it this month, don't worry. March's theme is the Academy Awards, and we might just see you there.
Serve Ohio is inviting Ohioans to participate in their statewide volunteerism and service study. In their press release, Serve Ohio says that they have been dedicated to empowering communities through building programs that strengthen education and improve economic-related opportunities. As they plan for the next 3 years, the Ohio Commission's Service and Volunteerism is requesting input from Ohioans to continue this type of work. You can find the survey on their website, and the form closes February 12th.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
While I enjoyed the fluctuating temperatures Kent saw this past Monday, other northeastern Ohio towns such as Willoughby Hills are facing flooding concerns. The inconsistency of temperatures is causing ice jams to form and melt again, which is affecting residents living near the Chagrin River. First responders said that they will be closely monitoring the river and coordinating riverfront communities throughout the week.
Portage County is under a winter weather advisory like most of northeast Ohio from 10 p.m. tonight to 10 a.m. tomorrow. The main issue will be ice accumulation ranging from 1 to 2/10 of an inch, but even the smallest amount can make roads and sidewalks very dangerous to walk on. The National Weather Service is recommending people stay inside and avoid driving at all possible, but if you do have to go out, drive slowly.
Well, with all this talk about cold temperatures, it seems to me that Puxatawny Phil was right in the sense of us seeing 6 more weeks of winter.
Yeah, that's right, Lex. But luckily, our very own Sophia Sonato was in the studio today to tell us if Kent is going to be seeing some of this freezing rain. Sophia?
That's right. Thank you, guys. I'm here to give you your forecast for tonight, tomorrow, and into your weekend. So let's get started with what is going on right outside our windows. Currently in Kent, it is 28 degrees and it is partly cloudy as the sun has gone down, and those winds are light, only about 6 miles per hour. The humidity is at 52%, but that is expected to rise, and our moon phase is in exactly first quarter, with our full moon being this time next week. Moving into my forecast for tomorrow, it's going to be a high of 42 degrees, a little bit warmer. However, there are going to be higher winds that will affect that temperature, and I'll get into that in a minute. There is a risk of this AM freezing rain looping into tomorrow morning, so be careful as you're driving. The winds will be going up to 13 miles per hour, and it is going to be technically warmer. Our sunset will be at 5:48 p.m. as well. Now, going into my on-campus forecast for tomorrow, starting at 8 a.m., it is going to be 38 degrees. However, it's only going to feel like 32. Those winds are going to be at 8 miles per hour as the sun goes up, so it is still going to be very cold. Heading into noon, it will jump up to 41 degrees technically, but 11 mile per hour winds will make it feel like 35. By 4 p.m., it'll be about the same, 1 degree colder with 1 mile per hour higher winds. And that is all I have for now. Stay tuned as I take you across the state of Ohio, as well as give you a bird's eye view on the next week's weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Sophia. Columbus police have arrested the suspect accused of a fatal shooting in a warehouse that left 1 dead and 5 injured. Bruce Reginald Foster III was located around 10 a.m. this morning following the shooting last night, and there is currently no motive for the attack. 4 patients were still being treated at the hospital this afternoon, and their conditions were not made public.
I want to begin by expressing my deepest sympathies to the victims and their families affected by last night's tragic event at KDC-1. Our community is heartbroken, and our hearts go out to everyone that's been impacted.
The Cleveland Division of Police is asking the public to be on the lookout for a missing 3-year-old girl. Zina Hamden was reported missing today after her mother failed to appear in court to turn over custody to Cuyahoga County Child Services. She was last seen with her mother in the 7000 block of Harvard Avenue. Police are asking that anyone with information to please contact Cleveland Police.
President Trump has just signed an executive order banning transgender athletes from women's sports. KSTV has this and more.
Earlier today, Sweden had what government officials are calling the deadliest shooting in Swedish history. Stay with us.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine, and I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet, and this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero. Good job, kitty cat. When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Solo stage where the player spends most of it being hunted down by Infinite. The weapon that performed the best here was the drill weapon. Its ability to...
He finally is like, I get it now. I get it. I have worth because I'm me. Yeah, and I really liked it a lot. Like, I'm not...
What are you staring at? How do you know it's me? No.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Welcome back. President Trump is continuing to sign many executive orders.
Our correspondent Gage Wellman is here to tell about those and more national news. Good evening, Gage.
Thank you, Lex and Liv. And yes, more and more national headlines are being made by the hour. So here is what is happening across our country. Less than 24 hours later, the United States Postal Service has reversed its decision to temporarily suspend packages from China and Hong Kong. The USPS has not clarified why they have lifted this suspension. However, it is coming on the heels of President Trump's decision to close a customs exception that allowed shoppers and importers to avoid fees on packages less than $800. Effective today, the USPS will receive packages from China and Hong Kong. Following President Trump's executive order to defund the United States Agency for International Development, many have taken to the streets to protest his decision. In our nation's capital, hundreds have taken issue with Trump's notion to withhold aid that was previously outsourced to different countries. Now, as this unfolded, Secretary of State Marco Rubio was on a visit to Guatemala, where he said he wished the administration would have, quote, done this in an orderly fashion. Just recently, President Trump has signed an executive order that would prohibit transgender athletes from participating in women's sports. The order, titled Keeping Men Out of Women's Sports, would direct the Department of Justice to interpret Title IX rules as banning transgender girls and women competing with what they call, quote, biological females. The Trump administration expects organizations such as the NCAA to comply with this order. To stay up to date on the developments across our nation, go to KentWire.com. From Franklin Hall, I'm Gage Wellman, KSTV.
Thank you, Gage. President Trump has announced a new plan for Gaza with the intention of taking ownership of the area and turning it into, quote, the Riviera of the Middle East. He has suggested that neighboring countries like Egypt, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia take in Palestinian refugees while the U.S. and Israel rehab the war-torn country. Many Democrats oppose this, believing it could lead to a new war in the Middle East.
The U.S. and Mexico are starting to take action to improve border security. About 1,000 Mexican National Guard soldiers have been sent to the border to combat drug trafficking and control migration. Earlier that week, Mexico's president pledged to eventually send 10,000 troops to the area in a deal between Mexico and the U.S. to delay new tariffs for a month.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Welcome back, everyone. Behind me, I have temperatures across the state of Ohio, so let's jump in up here with Toledo, that's currently sitting at 27 degrees, is having a good deal of sun as well. The Akron-Canton area is looking at 28 degrees, Columbus and Athens both looking at 32, Cincinnati warmer than the rest at 33 degrees, and Pittsburgh, with that bit of sun, is looking at 30. Now, if we zoom into the northeastern part of the state, you're going to look at these temperatures being more or less the same. Sandusky looking at 26 degrees, Cleveland looking at 28 and Ashtabula is looking at 27. Mansfield, Worcester, and the Akron-Canton area all looking at 28 degrees. Kent is looking at 26, and Whitetown, my town, is also sitting at 28 degrees. Something to note here is all of these northeastern Ohio cities are under this winter weather advisory, a very wide range and very uncommon for this time of year. Now, I want to take you into the look of the weather for the week. Starting tomorrow, we know it's going to be a little bit warmer. If you were with me earlier, it's going to be a high of 42 degrees and a low of 22. It's going to be windy, though, high top speeds of 13 miles per hour. By Friday, there will be more wind, but the sun's going to be coming out. On Saturday, with a high of 33 and low of 24, there is a chance of snow showers and flurries forming in the afternoon. By Sunday and Monday, it's going to be more or less of these temperate temperatures with a high of 30 and 33 respectively. And then on Tuesday, there is a possible chance of snow flurries throughout the day with a high of 29 and a low 19. This time next week, it's going to be pretty uninteresting in terms of weather, a high of 28 and low of 15. So be sure to stay with us as you keep track of these pieces of weather fronts heading towards us in the coming days. And that's where my report ends. For more details on these upcoming rounds of snow and wintry weather, you can always tune in right here with us at KSTV. From the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Sophia Sonato. Good night.
Thank you, Sophia. Thousands of residents and tourists are leaving the island of Santorini, Greece, while tremors rock the area. A tremor of 4.8 was reported yesterday, the highest of over 550 tremors that have occurred over the last 3 days. Greece's Earthquake Planning and Protection Organization believes that the seismic activity could occur for the next few days, if not weeks.
And in Sweden, multiple people were killed in what authorities are calling the worst mass shooting in Swedish history. 10 people were killed at a school yesterday when a gunman opened fire at a campus in the city of Örebro. Police say that there is no information indicating that the shooter acted based on any ideological motives. Sweden's Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson offered his condolences to the victims and their families.
The China Ministry of Finance has announced the U.S. parent clothing company PVH on its unreliable entity list, effectively blacklisting the company. PVH is the parent company for Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger, and being on that list prevents them from doing business in China at the risk of fines or other penalties. PVH says it's working with China to resolve the issue.
Happy National Women's in Sports Day to all the lovely female athletes out there. One special gymnast was named Specialist of the Week. Tune in to sports to see who was awarded.
The Super Bowl 59 end zones will have a new message for the first time in 4 years. What the NFL has chosen and why.
We know you work hard, so come spend your lunch with us at the Bistro on Main. We've been serving the community for 3 generations. Only a quick 10-minute drive from Kent State's campus. Make your breaks count at the Bistro on Main, where friends become family.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and...
I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
For the first time since 2021, the NFL is changing the message in the end zones. It will no longer be "end racism," but the NFL has chosen the message to say "choose love," which they feel is more appropriate in these times.
The new end zones will debut on Sunday for Super Bowl 59. The other end zone will say, "It takes all of us."
Hello and good evening, sports fans. First and foremost, I want to wish a happy Women's in Sports Day to all the lovely female athletes out there. Kent State gymnast Alyssa Guns was the Mid-American Conference Specialist of the Week. In Sunday's win over Western Michigan, Guns delivered when it mattered the most. She tied for first on the beam with a 9.875 before closing the meet with a season-high 9.9 on the floor, securing the victory. Guns and the Flashes are back in action on Friday, February 7th at Northern Illinois. Kent State women's basketball looks to extend its 5-game winning streak when they face Northern Illinois tonight at 7. In the Flash's last match, they dominated rival Akron in a 73-51 win, led by Jenna Batch's 25 points. And Batch is the only MAC player averaging at least 16 points. Bridget Dunn ranks 5th nationally in defensive rebounding, while Maya Babbitt leads the MAC with 49 threes. The Kent State men's basketball team took down the Eastern Michigan Eagles last night 70-49. 4 Flashes scored double digits. Delrico Gillespie and Jamal Selman notched 13 points, Von Cameron Davis put in 15, and finally, Jalen Sillinger added 11. You can check the Flashes back in action on February 8th. Taking things to the NBA, it's Week 16, and it's the third time in the season the Boston Celtics are facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's get into the action. It's Donovan Mitchell bringing it down. He's gaining momentum, throws it in for the dunk. Mitchell bringing the heat. Boston's now up by 15, and they're going to add 3 more because Jason Tatum just knocked in a deep dime. But Cleveland fans, don't look now because Tatum, again from behind the 3. Cleveland star is ready to make a change, but it turns it over to Peyton Pritchard, who lobs it up to none other than number 0 for that slam dunk. We're nearing the final minutes, and the Celtics are up by 7. They're running out the clock, and it ends at Derek White to hit the rim. Is it in? Yes, it is, and that'll take us to the end of the game. The Celtics take this series 2-1 with a final score of 112-105. And unfortunately, that is all the time that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this sports update. I'm Jordan Hiles, back to the desk.
Plan on staying up late to watch the Super Bowl this Sunday night, Starbucks may have a free pick-me-up for you the next morning.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper, you better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop, you got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused, fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Without music on, check us truly at the 1975.
Amen.
Solo stage where the player spends most of it being hunted down by Infinite. The weapon that performed the best here was the drill weapon. Its ability to...
He finally is like, I get it now. I get it. I have worth because I'm me. And I really liked it a lot. Like, I'm not...
What are you staring at? How do you know it's me? No.
Well, if you're an Eagles fan, a Chiefs fan, or if your team didn't even make the playoffs, everyone can get a free coffee from Starbucks if they're a rewards member. Starbucks is calling the Mondayest Monday, the day after the Super Bowl, and all rewards members can redeem a free hot or iced coffee through the app. This promotion comes after a disappointing quarter of sales, but hey, to me, free coffee is free coffee.
If CGI dinosaurs didn't scare you in the last Jurassic Parks movie, then you may want to tune into the new movie coming out this summer. Jurassic World Rebirth centers around Scarlett Johansson's character being stranded on an island that holds a decades-old secret about humanity, and you guessed it, dinosaurs. The film is set to hit theaters on July 2nd.
It's got Jonathan Bailey in it too. Consider me excited. That is all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for watching this newscast.
For these stories and more, visit KentStater.com and follow us on all socials. I'm Lex Brady.
And I'm Liv Sharp. Have a great night, Portage County.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway? I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits. Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get to